What is up, you guys? It's Alex here. If you've watched my videos for a while, you'll know that I enjoy going down the rabbit hole of headlines and future news predictions every so often. If you haven't heard by now, there's many indicators predicting we're on track for an economic relapse similarly, if not worse, than what we've seen in 2008. In previous recessions, the economic downturn resulted from issues in the financial markets, oil prices, and monetary policy. My days in that time looked something like this. The Great Recession, which lasted from December 2007 until 2009, was brought on by a subprime mortgage crisis and lax lending standards that led to the collapse of the mortgage industry. In comparison to the current recession, was caused by a public health crisis. It wasn't caused because of a crisis in financial markets or any type of sector, such as the last one, because of the current health concerns. Due to these facts, it's considered to be a self-induced recession, which is highly unusual for the United States. But nowadays, there's a lot more to keep track of, with financial markets being some of the most unpredictable rides we've seen in history. We've had some of our single worst point drops in history, following some of the largest point drops that we've ever seen in today's times. Regardless, there is a lot to follow up with if you're focused in investing and growing your money properly rather than dispersing your nest egg wrongly, which will ultimately put you in a less than favorable position. Following the news, you'll know eviction protection was lifted in the last week of July, which allows landlords to pursue the legal process of displacing tenants who haven't been able to pay their rent since the start of these unprecedented times. The concern following the lift of eviction protection for tenants is mass homelessness and snowballing effect that could lead to a historical real estate collapse. If you live in a property covered by the CARES Act, landlords can now legally ask you to leave and start charging you late fees. But the soonest they can legally file an eviction to force you to leave is August 24th. This would not only lead to a flood of empty units hitting the markets all at once, but the government is putting in as many measures as possible to avoid mass evictions happening all at the same time all across America. Additionally, say there was to be a dark time where this were to happen, the eviction process would be prolonged by months as the volume of filings supersedes capacity. CNBC previews evictions will force over 28 million Americans into homelessness, and the math behind that insinuates that 10% of the country's population is renting and that 1 out of every 10 renters are behind on their payments. Many large CEOs, economists, and experts have warned of the dangers of removing the lifeline that people are relying on, prompting officials to focus on a plan to continue federal aid until signs of economic progress and the economy reopens. A strategic plan is in the works as foreclosure crisis could be looming above us. Many homeowners are behind on their payments due to mortgage forbearance, and this is because federally backed loans have given consumers an option to pause their payments for up to 180 days and giving you the option to do that up to 2 times for a total of 320 days of no payments. However, those payments will need to be collected either in the back end of the loan or spread amongst a 12-month period. Mortgage forbearance does not erase what you owe. You'll need to keep that in mind, and you'll have to repay any missed payments in the future. So if you're able to keep up with your payments, make sure to keep paying them. The great news out of all this ugliness is that the amount of homes that are under forbearance have decreased lately, recording at 7.8% in mid-July. The real questions behind all of this data is how long will our economy fully take to reopen, how many people will go back to work, and what will their spending habits look like following all of this madness. Speaking in a worst case scenario, this is what could go wrong. The economy doesn't reopen, relief benefits expire, which they already have, masses of people begin defaulting on their loans, businesses lose customers, which leads to the stock market tanking and everything going into a downward spiral. Despite what type of times we're in, it's always a great idea to cut back on spending, investing consistently, save as much as you can, and find new ways to make money are always good financial habits to have, regardless of the times that we are facing. And now for some good news. Bitcoin price has hit its 13-month high at $12,000. It has surpassed its 12,000 range and is currently in the 12,333 mark, which they are forecasting it to be up into the $15,000 range. Coinbase is now offering a Bitcoin-backed loan to US consumers with up to 30% of their Bitcoin holdings, capping their credit lines of $20,000 per customer with an interest rate of 8%, with terms of 1 year or less. So alrighty guys, well that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you guys were able to take something out of this and I was able to bring some things to your guys' attention. If you enjoy videos like this, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and we'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.